It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night it is going to be. Historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Early on the turn.
Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top.
And welcome in. It's InGame Live Prime Time on a fabulous Friday. Scott Wetzel in for Matt Brault on this August 9th, along with the main man, Dave Sharapan. I don't know what he's rocking. You know, I watched a movie last night with Michael Keaton where he's getting like dyslexia. I don't know if this is there dyslexia. You read things backwards. What is it when you're cold? You read things upside down. We got baseball, we got preseason football, we got Olympics, and we got an upside-down cat. What the fudge is that? Was someone doing it upside down when they built this thing? What is that? You actually paid for that thing? Or do people actually, I know you don't pay for anything, but do people actually buy a cap like that in LA? What is that?
Oh, yeah. First of all, it's great to see you. Great to be here with you. Yeah, these things are what the kids are saying are cool. And, someone suggested I wear it when I need the opposite picks. And I said, this is perfect.
Ooh.
On a fabulous Friday. We don't really get to do this on Fridays very often, but you came up with fabulous. It is Friday, and we're going opposite picks all week with what we're wearing. And I don't know, despite the fact that preseason football really started yesterday and there's games tonight, I'm still into the baseball. And I've been perfect all week. Whatever I wear, the team loses. This is it for the Pirates tonight. They're on a West Coast trip, and they're playing at L.A. I said, we're going to have to break this one up and turn it upside down. All right? That's what we're doing. There's a lot of thought into it, but there's games going on right now, and they're getting ready to start. The first order of business, Reds Brewers. I've been looking at this board all day, and I went down and saw some guys at the book. I saw the Shrew. I saw the Bomber. They're Cleveland guys. We'll get to that game in a second. But I saw another guy, I call him Big Man Mish, and he gave me Ellie De La Cruz did a home run tonight. He's a Milwaukee guy who lives out here now, writes for the Chicago Sun-Times. He said, Ellie destroys the Brewers. And I went, I'll ask opposite picks what he thinks about this game at the top of the show. So, Wetzel, what do you think about this game?
I didn't really have a great feel except for, anytime you want to give me the Brewers, I will take the Brewers. Now, Aaron Savali has not been good, since they acquired him from Tampa Bay. 2-8, although not with the Brewers, but they've only won one of his 5 starts. He gave up 5 runs his last time out against Washington, no less. So the Dela Cruz thing, the guy's been on fire, right? I think Major League Baseball really wants him, Dave, to be like the face of the franchise. I think I don't know how long he's going to be on Cincinnati. Like, Cincinnati has a year. Major League Baseball is going to call up the Reds and say, listen, you got one choice. Well, you got 2 choices. 1, you get better so we can highlight Dela Cruz. Or 2, we're going to force you to trade this guy to the Yankees or Red Sox or Dodgers or some other team because we can't have him wasted away. We have so few faces of the franchise in baseball. We're not going to have him wasting away in Cincinnati if you're going to be a last place team. So, Dylan Cruz, home run? Okay, why not?
Big market guys will always want to move the big guy, the stars out of the little markets. I had this discussion exactly with him, and I said, hold on. Before you move him to a big market, he's going to become Mike Trout, and that's the fear. You don't want a superstar to end up in obscurity and not win. Cincinnati has to win, not just tonight, but I mean in general. We got to get Ellie on the playoff stage for him to take the next step. So we'll get to that. We got a whole 2 hours coming up. We got guests lined up. We got a whole bunch of things, but we got another game that these guys and their wives, I mean, the Shrew and Mrs. Shrew and the Bomber and Mrs. Bomber, they were decked out in Cleveland stuff at the book. They're like, Dave, tell us, please, is a Guardians play tonight warranted? Cobb's first start, blah, 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 blah. I said, boys, Cleveland's been struggling all week. And they were bummed out. They were like, this is happening. Why is it so hard to be a Cleveland fan? I said, yeah, I get it. I'm a Pirate fan. I looked at it and went, this got to be a Twins play. And I tried to hold them off. You got anything here, side or total? For me, that Reds Brewers is an automatic overplay based on those numbers and everything that you said, with Savali and everything. I can't come up with something here. I really can't.
I got one for you. I just want to double check because sometimes I read things and I question them. And he did not. The Minnesota Twinkies have lost this guy Barlin, who's pitching tonight. Sometimes reliever, sometimes starter, right? He's 0-4. They have lost his last 8 starts. Have the Minnesota Twins. So there you go, Indian fans, Guardian fans. If you want a little nugget, now they've lost 6 in a row. I know people, Dave, and I'm sure you do too as well, that will automatically bet the opposite team of a doubleheader. Whoever lost the first game, they'll bet on that team to second game thinking, okay, there's no way they're going to get swept. But, I'll remind Cleveland fans, they just got swept at home by Arizona 2 days ago. So it certainly can happen. I don't necessarily buy into that philosophy. But when you get 2 teams that are evenly matched like these 2 teams are, this is a big series for Minnesota. Boy, they end up sweeping, which is, I know, a long ways away from sweeping. But if they were, that once insurmountable lead by Cleveland is going to be down to nothing. So Alex Cobb, who knows? You got a season debut for him. Indians have lost, Guardians have lost 6 straight. There are major overplay second half of the season, so we desperately need. I may have to bet Minnesota tonight just to put the black cloud on them for all Cleveland fans. Whoa. Yeah, I may have to do it. I may have to big play on Minnesota.
I got a full disclosure. I saw these guys in the book today. They're big fans, and they look forward to the Black Cloud play of the night. And I tell everybody it's at the last segment of the first hour usually. But is there something going on that you brewed up? We got to bring up the Cardinals and the Royals I-70 series. I have no real strong opinion about this one, but my lean is to Kansas City. I don't know about the total. Not sure. That when you see a number, it's 9. It's like, why? The only lean would be under. I got nothing real strong here. How about you?
Yeah, I like Kansas City. Now, St. Louis did win the last time, but they're 1-8 for whatever reason in the opening game of their last 9 series. So they get slow starts for whatever reason. But I will say that one was the last series. So if that means anything for you. Miles Mikolas, it's not really a good matchup for St. Louis because Mikolas is not a strikeout pitcher. To give you an example, his over-under tonight is 2.5. Kansas City is a great contact team. Yeah. I've never seen a 2.5 before, right? I mean, adjusted lines, obviously, but 2.5, that's his real line. He doesn't strike anybody out, and Kansas City doesn't strike out. They're one of the fewest strikeout teams in baseball. So I'm thinking, Kansas City's going to put the ball in play all night long. I'll take my chances. Royals at home. They're great at home. 13 games over 500 at home. Basically pick 'em line, right? Minus 120, 130 or so, whatever it is. I like Kansas City. Just because of that.
Okay. All right. The slight lean for me would be to Kansas City. What about this battle in Chicago? This is great. Storyline. White Sox stop, the record. They get on a plane. They land in Chicago and fire everybody. And then they let their best pitcher go out tonight. Crochet. I've got pretty good source that said, look at his starts since the All-Star break. He goes through the order one time, and they're taking him out. He's on a strict pitch count. How can you bet American money on the White Sox other than you want a micro market? How about first 3 innings? That way you know you're getting Crochet. And then after that, all bets are off. I have no idea, side or total, about this game at all.
Well, it's a true test, Dave, of one of our best systems. It's the old coaches/managers fired system is in play tonight. And boy, it is tough, right? It's tough to put American money, Canadian money on a team that is 28-69, 41 games under 500. They've lost his last 8 starts, have they, Crochet? They've lost 26 of 28, but nothing bucks the system. You got to do it. You're not even getting that much money tonight, right? With plus 124, 125 or so with the White Sox. So it's not even like you're getting 2-1, but managers/coaches fired system in play. Let's go White Sox. Believe it or not.
Hold your nose. Hold your nose.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the turn. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, prime time here on the grid on a fabulous Friday. Just getting underway. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. Long list of things. We got baseball. We got Olympics. We got preseason football. 3 games, not bad, all going on. And we got a ton of guests, including our first one from DocSports.com. You see him, hear him all the time. We have him on quite a bit. So do the other guys here at the SportsGrid. That's our good buddy, Griffin Murphy. What's going on, Griff? How are you tonight, bud?
I'm doing great tonight, Scott. As always, another night in Vegas, another Friday. We're going to Circa after this. We've got Chaos, the Bet Bash, Circa Survival sign up, Circa Millions, everything absolutely juiced up, man. We've got NFL around the corner. I'm ready to go, brother. We're still baseball full intact. Got football rolling in. Everything's good over here, my man. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm great, Griff. I can't wait to meet you later. We just made a date on the break before this segment started. So I'll see you in a couple hours. But right now, we got to get to business. Wetzel and I very confused with a game that's coming up, 5:40 our time Pacific, 8:40 Eastern. It's Braves and Rockies. I looked at this price and went, how can the Braves be this big of a favorite? You know, I know the Rockies are bad, but, I mean, we're always looking for, you know, a nice return on a baseball game. Any thoughts on Braves-Rockies tonight?
Well, you know, Dave, I'm really on the other side with this game. The first question I have to ask myself is, why is Atlanta minus 170 in this matchup? So we know one thing for sure. Denver, the altitude, balls fly out of the park. Tanner Gordon gets the start for Colorado tonight. He's 0-3 with a 6.75 ERA with just 21 innings of work. Atlanta right now, they're 8th in the MLB when it comes to home runs, 13th in slugging percentage, and 2nd in home runs against. You've got Grant Holmes getting the start for Atlanta tonight. He has very strong numbers. 33 innings of work, a 3.0 ERA, 33 strikeouts with just 4 walks. That walk to strikeout diversification is outstanding. Holmes has gone 15 innings in his last 4 outings, allowing just 17 hits and 9 runs. But considering the fact Tanner Gordon is coming off one of his best outings of his career in San Diego, allowing just 1 hit and 1 run, Colorado, they haven't scored more than 6 runs in just one of their last 8 games. The market is concerned right now, in my eyes, with Grant Holmes. They don't know how to approach this with Tanner Gordon coming off his last outing, which was completely dominant. Then you have Atlanta, who's dropped 5 games in a row. Dave, this is a no-go game for me. And if I was to touch it, I would lean with the Rockies on the smallest sprinkle ever on an alternative run line to get that plus 250 odds. Otherwise, this game has absolutely zero value to me. I don't think the market knew how to price this game. They don't understand what's going to happen with Tanner Gordon. Is he going to come out stout like he did in his last outing? And what can we expect from Grant Holmes? So if I was to go anywhere with this matchup, give me alternative run line at home with Denver on that plus 250, 1 to 2.5 risk to reward odds, Dave.
All right. How about Philadelphia, Arizona? You know, Phillies started the second half of the season slumping. They won 5 of their first 5 and 12 actually, but they have won 3 of 4 in Arizona. Pretty good series grip between the Phillies and Diamondbacks.
Yes, absolutely. This one is definitely a concerning game. You know, Philadelphia, they're 4-6 in their last 10 games, although they're on a nice 3-game win streak. Arizona, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games, and they're coming off a loss. The simple question I have to ask myself is, why is Philadelphia minus 135 on the money line when they are arguably one of the best teams in baseball? They're on a 3-game winning streak, and tonight they're backed up by Zach Wheeler, who is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Philadelphia, well, they play their worst baseball on the road with a record of 31-25, while Arizona is red hot right now. Post All-Star break, 14-5, hitting nearly 280 as a club. Arizona is also in the race for a playoff spot as they're currently 3rd in the NL West, 3.5 games out of first place. So they're playing their behinds off, to excuse my language. Philadelphia, they lead the NL East by 8 games ahead of New York. So this is a Poland game. The public is going to be all over Philadelphia tonight on the money line, or they're going to have them in parlays for obvious looks that this looks like an absolute win game for Philly. Arizona, in my eyes, they're in the race. Philadelphia's got to settle down just a tad despite their 3-game win streak. They've also played 8 games in a row, all on the road. The team is exhausted. This should be a laydown game. Give me the plus value here with the red-hot Diamondbacks at home on the money line, plus 115. And I also don't hate the alternative run line with the D-backs, as we have to suspect if Wheeler gets himself into a jam, this bullpen is going to be exhausted, considering this is the 9th consecutive game that they have played. And you can get that alternative run line at plus 225. So again, you're getting nearly 1 to 2 risk to reward odds on this matchup here, Scott.
Couple minutes left here. We got to go to one of the interleague matchups tonight, and we got some Mets guys behind the scenes, Vincenzo and, you know, the boys. The Mets are a hard team, and you were talking about them, you know, being behind, and now the Braves are out of the playoffs if things are happening, but the Mets are right there, and they're in if the season ended today. I don't know, man. I looked at this number and went, wow, is this a Mets plus money play, or do you want to ride with Miller in Seattle? Couldn't really come up with a real strong opinion. The computer, the smart projection here on SportsGrid, picked the Mets at a 56% spot. What say you, Griff?
Dave, I'm going to agree with the computer on the Mets here. You know, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Seattle, they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. They are coming off a win, but you have to understand the Mets are a night team. They are 38-25 during night games versus 23-29 during day games. New York also hits 263 as a club at post All-Star break, and they're 12-8. Seattle, they're presently 8-2 post All-Star break, and I just cannot rely on this offense. You've got Jose Quintana on the bump for the Mets. He's a left-handed pitcher. He's faced Seattle 12 times in his career. He's 2-1, 53 innings of work, 55 strikeouts, 23 runs allowed, and 7 bombs. Seattle, they are 29th in the MLB when it comes to batting average. I do not see them getting to Quintana by any means tonight, and you have to back up this New York Mets offense. They have been playing consistent baseball on the upside, all season long, starting from April all the way to now. This team has done nothing but accelerate and ascend to the upside, and they're playing phenomenal baseball right now, and they play good on the road, Dave. They're 31-25 on the road. We're getting plus value. Is this a trap bet? Maybe. So I wouldn't go heavy on this, but the play is the Mets on this one, Dave.
There you go. That's sort of play. Check them out, DocSports.com. Look for Griffin Murphy. Griff, great job. We'll do it again soon, my friend.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, Dave.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry.
Could I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Welcome back. InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. Thanks to Griffin Murphy. Again, check him out at DocSports.com. Look for his little icon. Hit that and get his picks. DocSports.com. So we got some baseball. We got some preseason football to get to. A little Olympic recap as well. Halfway decent day, especially for the USA women. But a little SGP time. And Dave, I don't know if he's going to be happy about this or not. We'll find out. A little same game parlay time. All right, we're going to go out to Los Angeles, Pittsburgh Pirates. Dave's Pirates against the LA backward Dodgers. Ah, yes. And we are going to be actually on Pittsburgh with Mitch Keller. That's why I wasn't sure if he likes the fact that we're going to be hopping on board his club or not. But Mitch, I don't understand why this line is high as it is. I saw it go up to as high as 180. Then it came back a little bit to plus 170, 172, depending on where you do your shopping and when you do it. So. But I like Pittsburgh. You got Mitch Keller on the hill. You know, the Pirates, Dave, 13-2 in his last 15 starts. And you want to give me, not quite 2-1, but you want to give me monster odds? 13-2, I'll take that. If the Pirates are going to win, chances are pretty good they're going to score over 3.5 runs. And then give me your hottest hitter, your best hitter perhaps, and Brian Reynolds to get a base hit, minus 180, which is a little pricey. But Reynolds to get an RBI. He's got a bunch of RBIs this month at plus 190. Add it all up. Not a monster payout at 5-1, but a payout just the same. We'll take that. You know the saying, if you start your sentence with I only won, it's going to be a pretty good sentence. So Pirates with Keller over 3.5 runs, and then Reynolds to get a hit and an RBI. What do you think?
I think you need to redo the parlay calculator because plus 190, plus 118, and plus 172, even with a minus 180, does not come out to plus 501. I don't know who gave you that. That's not right. That has to. I can guarantee you we'll run a parlay calculator during the break and find that should pay more. If that's the price, we need to have a kind of an investigation. The fact that you're on the Pirates is okay. I'm fully okay with that because you've hit these same game parlays before, and that's good. The price is to entice some Pirate money because it's been a rough week. It's not been good. The Pirates are blowing games. The bullpen is a complete question mark. When Skeens isn't pitching, even when he is pitching, they're blowing games, but he's not pitching until tomorrow. And I can't wait to see what that number should be, could be, who's pitching for the Dodgers, and we'll get to that, later. And tomorrow we'll have more. But man, it's not going to be. I don't think. Look at this smart projection. I mean, did they really do this? I mean, that's a big percent, 65%. I feel like that's a little personal. I wore the Dodger blue stuff because, one, the ladies say it makes my eyes pop, and I'm good with that. And number two, it does. It's fine.
Yeah.
And this is a big series for the Pirates. It's much more meaningful for the Pirates than it is for the Dodgers. The Dodgers got a lot of things they got to figure out. Now, the X factor in all of it tonight is Flaherty. Flaherty can come pitch a gem. Strikes out guys. The Pirates strike out a lot. We could be in trouble, Wetzel. So, I'll be down at Circa later too. And Griffin's going to be there, and he'll be sweating games, and I'll just be sitting there hoping that the Pirates can find a way to win tonight. Because if they win tonight, carries over to tomorrow, Skeens Day. Buccos get 2, games in LA. I'll be very excited. I just hope you don't lose this parlay because Reynolds doesn't get a ribby. What if he doesn't get a ribby?
He's been on fire. I will tell you, he has. I usually write this stuff down, but he has. All right. By the way, you're 100% right, as I knew you would be. But he has 7 RBIs in 6 games this month. So one, not too bad. You know what?
So for the math guys, what should that parlay pay? Because I know you. I know you ran it. What should it pay? Just tell them.
22-1. 22, and I think the Pirates over 3.5 runs. I think was minus 115, not plus 115. At minus 115, at plus 190, plus 172, minus 180, and minus 115, 22-1, 21.94. So 22-1.
Put the listening glasses on for that one. Just wanted to make sure in case anybody in the books watching or something like that. I knew the number.
5-1. That's criminal. That's just criminal. I mean, holy. Wow. George Kurtz coming up.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Early on the top, right hand from my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. And, just for clarification, the boys were right at graphics. It was plus 115 for Pittsburgh's over 3.5 runs. Now, I thought maybe it was minus, nothing to make that big a difference, but when you used plus 115 for Pirates over 3.5 runs, it comes out to over 25 to 1. When you put it in right now, with some odds adjusted a little bit, it's plus 535. So they drop it from Dave 25 to 1. They take a whopping 80% off your ticket. Oh my God! And again, these are the same people that also now want to start taking 4% from your winnings as well. On top of you don't need 4%.
It makes it tough to win. And again, It's all about educating people. And I'm very thankful for this job. And I love this business. I've been in it a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. I don't even know how you can come up with that price. I really don't. So if that's the real price, God bless you. People drive 2 miles out of their way to save 3 cents on gas, but they'll still, hit accept on these same game parlays. Yeah. I don't know. Just caution before you hit yes or approve or whatever it is before you make these parlays. We got to get to Kurtz because the Yankee game got rained out. And I'm dying to know what Captain Trump. There he is. Hello, George. I know you heard us during the break, and now we see you, hear you. What has your focus right now? Because I know the Yankees rained out, and are the pets, everything okay at home? You've been home by yourself now for a little bit. Have you enjoyed all the food you wanted? Like 5 days alone. What are you focused on tonight, George?
Yeah, I am on day 5, right? The family's in Asia. Having a great time, apparently, from the pictures I keep seeing there. So good for them here. What am I focusing on? Listen, I can dress myself, for those who are wondering. All right, I've been eating the same pizza pie that I ordered, I think, on Tuesday for meals. So, okay, it did finish it earlier today. So we'll see how I'm going to change it up. I would have barbecued today, all right? But as Scott knows, listen, you're lucky I'm not floating down Jericho Turnpike here with the rain we're getting from the remnants of Hurricane Deborah, Debbie, Deb, whatever they're calling this thing, okay? Yeah. The Yankees probably lucky they got rained out if there's pretty much not showing up on Wednesday and Thursday against the, all of a sudden, the really good Angels team they had to play at home, right? Tough losses there against the Angels. All right, I'm trying to deal with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Did you know that Jerry Jones went to high school and college? Good for you, Jerry. So that's what I'm really dealing with here, Dave. Between senile Jerry, the Yankees playing like crap again, and the game's being rained out tonight, which is probably a good thing, by the way. But for those wondering, yes, I can dress myself, and I'm eating whatever's available.
That's one of those where you get the Uncle Giuseppe pizza specials, 2 for $11, on Monday, and you have that for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Friday it kicks in again. So you buy 2 more pizzas for $20. All right, so good news, Yankees got rained out. And actually, give them credit, George. They called that game this afternoon when it was beautiful here on Long Island. I was like, what are they doing calling the game already? But obviously, they knew what they were doing. But Baltimore's leading 4-0, so they win, and they take over first place by a half a game. What do you got your eyes on as far as some of the other games that are going on right now before we get to the games that'll start in a little while?
Yeah, listen, I really thought there'd be a lot of runs in this Oakland-Toronto game. I was on the over, and it's 1-1 here in, the 6th, so that's not going to happen. Started off good with Springer hitting a home run the first inning, and it's gone downhill ever since there, so that's not going well for me. I was on the Red Sox tonight, so last I checked, I think that was 3-1, still is, so that's going well. Yeah, so that's going well for me. I'm on the under in the Mets-Mariners tonight. Sort of a blind one again. I don't trust the Mariners to ever score runs there, so we'll see how that goes late. So far it's been I guess, what were you? We're an hour and a half in, 2 hours in. It's been middling, winning some, losing some, not getting killed or not rushing to invest any of the money I'm winning tonight either.
All right, well then we'll look at games that haven't started yet. Let's stay in your city/state and look at Mets and Seattle. Vincenzo wants to hear you say you like the Mets, and Griff just came in and said he liked the Mets, and a lot of people seem to like the Mets as a dog. It's a different spot. Even the computer, the smart projection, is on the Mets, but the Mets are a dog. And, Ranieri nicknamed you Captain Chalk. Mariners, Mets, anything in this game, George?
I'm on the under. I said it's 8.5. Seattle's almost a blind under for me anyway, without even thinking about it. But 8.5 is automatic. It's not like the Mets are a big offensive juggernaut either. Quintana's one of those guys, sort of like Hendricks, sort of like Corbin. I don't know how he gets guys out. I just don't know how he does it. All right, he should be eminently hittable. All right, but hey, even when he gets in trouble, he wiggles out of it here. I don't mind any. I'm not betting on Seattle. Right, I'm not. Even though the pitching matchup says they're going to do well here, because of my bias against Quintana, I can't bet on that either. I can't bet on hoping, Seattle doesn't get the hit when runners on second and third and 2 outs, because that's what he seems like. He always has that. There's always runners on base. It's always 2 outs, and he always gets that third out before they give up that hit. Sooner or later, that's not going to come through here. So I didn't bet on the Mets either. I just have a nice size play on the under here. So we're hoping for no runs tonight in Seattle and the Mets.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good game with Philadelphia and Arizona. Good series, really. With Zach Wheeler's on the hill, coming off of he's been feast or famine the last 3 starts, George. 3 starts ago, shutout baseball. 2 starts ago, gave up 7 runs against your Yankees. Last start, shutout baseball. So does that give you an insight on what he's going to do tonight against Arizona?
I would have thought that last night, Philadelphia coming off the nice series against the Dodgers there, that they would have to let down. All right, and I actually bet that last night. Didn't work out. So as long as they don't have a letdown tonight, the second game, which sometimes we do get, that's usually after a long road trip. With the first game, you still got the adrenaline coming. The second game is when you suffer here. I like the Phillies tonight. We're getting a good price on Wheeler at -134. The pitching matchup says they should win this game. They're hitting again. Right, Schwarber, I know, said like 18 home runs this week. That lineup is just devastating because they don't need everyone to hit. They only need 2-3 guys to hit, and they're going to score runs up the wazoo here. So I'm on the Phillies tonight. I think they'll take care of business again against Arizona. It's dangerous, though, because the D-backs are a good team.
Brisky and Ray. I looked at this one in Detroit and San Francisco and thought one thing. There's an old thing that you used to take for indigestion, Brioski. Only you old guys will remember that. You drop it in a cup and it fizzes up and it cures you. And 2, there's going to be a lot of orange in this game. There's black and orange and blue and orange. And I got nothing. There's some games you just look at and go, not for me. How about you, George? You feel comfortable laying -180, 185 with the Giants and Robbie Ray?
I got 190 right now. All right, that's what it's on. No, I can't lay that with the Giants. I just can't do it. All right, I think that's crazy. And the Giants have played better of late. I get it. And Detroit doesn't have much of an offense, but they did. Hey, they won 2 of the last 3 games, which I didn't see coming either. I want to bet the Giants. I do. I just don't see a great play here. Do we really trust the run line? minus 115 for them to win by 2. I think if that's where you're going to go with this game, that's what I would attack. I am not taking the under either, by the way. I don't think Detroit's – maybe we take the under Detroit total. That might be something I can go with here. Or maybe we take the first 5 for San Fran. I could be talking to either one of those. But I guess if I haven't bet anything in this game, but I guess if I had to, and we'll see how things are going in the next hour and a half, it would be the San Francisco run line. That's what I would feel most comfortable with. I don't like them in a parlay either. So it's pretty much going to be run line or bust for me tonight.
All right. Any preseason football tonight, George?
I like the unders. All right, we're going to cover the unders again here. So I think the Baltimore games in the Northeast, so I didn't like the fact that, hey, the weather could be a problem there as well. So I did blind, I shouldn't say blind, but I went unders in all the games. Yeah, I did the same thing last night. I think that cashed at least 2 out of 3. So we'll do it again tonight here. I do, Baltimore, I was going to take, I did take Baltimore to win here. But I wonder if Harbaugh doesn't care as much as he had his streak broken last year for all those preseason wins. I wonder if he still wants to go, balls to the wall to win in preseason here. So I did take Baltimore again, but a smaller play than I might have normally done.
Yeah, I think everybody was on Baltimore knowing that, but yeah, they've lost 2 of the 3 last year. They failed to cover all 3. That's why I actually played Philadelphia with that. So, George, good job. Appreciate it. Enjoy your Friday night all alone. How about that? We'll do it again soon.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Now 3-0 in BKFC.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the target for the left right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Milkomania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Hi, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. Thanks to George Kurtz joining us there. Doing a little MLB, a little football, and we got some football on in the corner of my eye here. I tell you, you realize why these guys are backups, right? When you watch preseason football, the odds that you get from an NFL regular season game is bad enough. The odds that you get for these preseason games, the guys dropping passes left and right. Your boy Kyle Allen for Pittsburgh had a wide open receiver in the end zone. I got the over Houston-Pittsburgh, right? I'm thinking that's a strong play with the 4 backup quarterbacks that are playing. Even C.J. Stroud actually played a series and scored a touchdown, so I really like the over. He was open by 20 yards. He overthrew him. Incompletion. And they don't score a touchdown. I mean, it is amazing the difference between backups and starters in the NFL. So you got any preseason action tonight?
No, this is one of those things that I was telling Ranieri. You do baseball. Everybody's excited when spring training starts, and you get into baseball season in April, and you start to fight through it, and you get to May, have a little bit of success. Summer comes, ball starts flying out of ballparks, bullpens get tired, you limp all the way to the All-Star break, and then you have all of the information, you have all of the data, and preseason football starts, and people bail. And I don't know why. Because they're tired of it. It's hard. It's the same thing. It's this, it's that. And you go, let me jump to preseason football and bet on a game tonight with the Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're playing football. And guys that are playing aren't going to be playing on Sundays in September. So, no, it's the bane of my existence. I hated booking it. I watch guys bet it and win. You can bet this stuff and win, but – you have to have the information. And then you can have all the information. The line can move 6 points, 7 points, like it did yesterday with Carolina and New England, and it's right. So fading the line moves doesn't work. Bet the game's totals over because they're so low. You get under. Tonight you come back with under, and you're looking like you may go 0-3. Although, the Eagles and the Ravens look like it's so far that one's going to go under. So, no, Scott, I am not your guy. If you want insight into betting preseason football, I might be off for a week or two because I'll be watching baseball and I'll be looking at division odds and, already looking at season wins and real stuff and trying to figure it out. What about the Olympics? I mean, there's been some really interesting things. That Olympic basketball game yesterday was one of the most entertaining basketball games I've watched in a long time. USA holds on and comes back and wins 95-91 against Serbia, setting up tomorrow's game against France, for the gold medal. I can't wait to watch it. I really can't. And the boys have the division odds, the tournament MVP numbers. As big of a favorite as the USA is 16. Look at this. Is this a wrap? It's over?
I hope not. Good Lord, I hope not. I can't have LeBron James win the MVP. I don't think, it's because it's LeBron, but please. I think if Steph has another big game, listen, they wouldn't be playing if it wasn't for Steph. So, say what you want about LeBron, he's getting the most playing time, so he should be, doing the best. But it was Steph that bailed him out, against Serbia. He's the one that kept them in the game the first half, scored, 14 of their first 15 points, and then scored 7 of their last 10. So without Steph, there would be no MVP for LeBron. So I don't know how they don't give it to Steph, to tell you the truth. I don't care what they did in these, regulation games that, didn't really count. Not that it didn't count, but you know what I mean. It's the elimination games that I really look at. So it's funny. You got USA versus France in the men's, and you got USA versus France in the women's. How about that? You talk about a hot ticket, right? I mean, I know they were probably getting $1 gazillion for Simone Biles, gymnastics tickets, but I would think because it's France home team with the tickets for these two games, boy, I bet they're going through the roof. But that's for 16.5. That's a big number.
Yeah. I was talking about it. Now, it's been a really interesting dynamic here at Camp Sharapan. Which I call the house. I mean, because it feels like a summer camp every day for the kids, and I feel like a camp counselor with all the activities and things going on. And I nicknamed the house the Hamptons because I like to say, yeah, we live up in the Hamptons, but we don't. We're just in Las Vegas. They've been watching all these different events, and I don't know if you saw it, but I immediately thought of you and almost texted you, but I didn't want to bother you because I thought you might be sleeping because it was late out west. I know you've talked about being able to win gold medals or, medal in certain sports. And we know that apparently you could shoot a skeet shooting without even looking at that's easy. I mean, you've talked about possibly hurdles and things like that. And I said, I can't wait to ask Wetzel tonight on the show. Have you seen the breakdancing and the pop and lock and all that other stuff? Could you do the breakdancing moves back in the day? Could you get down on the ground? And we talked about this a little bit with Matty G the other night, and that kid can do it. He could do it. Yeah. He could still do it now. Is there any hope for you in the breakdancing categories?
No. That I got to say I cannot. And I got to tell you, I'm very disappointed, boys and girls in the hoods. We didn't win gold in breakdancing. I don't know how that's possible. Didn't we basically start breakdancing? I don't know how our guys and gals didn't win breakdancing, but we did somehow or another. No, that would. How about the swimming men's 10 kilometer marathon final? What was today? Could you swim 6.2 miles?
Only
you talked about that life and death thing.
Oh yeah, only if I had to get somewhere to stay alive. I think that's a long way. That's a long way to swim. Yeah, that's a long way to swim. I wouldn't be doing it in a hurry. They could use a sundial, right? Like to get me there. I don't think I could do it now. I don't think I could do it right. I have to train for that. Yeah.
Men's 4x100 meter relay screwed up again this year. They do this every single year. The women won the gold and the men got disqualified because they handed the baton over the wrong way. The two runners crashed into each other. I mean, what is that? What is that?
Put it in the hand like this. Just put it in the hand and run.
Now that, I tell you, I absolutely positively can do. I can hand over a baton to somebody else without running into them.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, I'll be into this,
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the target for right hand from my Perry, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. A lot to get to, so let's keep it moving. Little Black Cloud time, our best play of the late games of the day. All right, we're going to head out to Colorado, where we get the Rockies hosting the New York Mets. Tempted to take the Mets and put the Black Cloud negatively on them, but I'm not going to do that. We'll keep things nice tonight. But we will take Jose Quintana's strikeouts over 4.5. which is surprisingly low. Colorado, one of the worst strikeout teams in baseball. Quintana, his last 5 starts. Seattle. I say Colorado. Seattle, the worst strikeout team in all the baseball, as a matter of fact. Quintana, his last 5 starts, only 4 last time out, but 5, 6, 8, 5. Then he had a 1, then a 7, 8, 6. So this guy has had 5 strikeouts or more in 8 of his last 10 starts. And now he's facing the worst strikeout team in all of baseball. How is this dude not getting at least 5 strikeouts against the god-awful, pathetic, couldn't hit their way out of a paper bag Seattle Mariners? So double your unit play, maybe triple it over 4.5 Jose Quintana.
All right. So you know how these things work. You basically ended the White Sox losing streak the other night by putting the Black Cloud play of the night on it. I was aiding and abetting you by dressing completely in the A stuff because we both knew that couldn't lose, and then it did. And somebody who has suffered through the hard part of baseball season and knows Black Cloud plays as well as anybody and is a baseball guy is going to join us here. Mark Zinno is going to hang with us the rest of this segment and ideally next segment. Zin,
yes,
great to see you. We've never really had anybody come on during the Black Cloud play of the night. Can you explain how this could possibly lose tonight, please?
Because the Mets don't hit. I looked at this game and kind of what I felt like was probably the way to go was a first 5 under. Looking at Bryce Miller at home, who's been excellent. And Quintana hasn't been bad, but, he's been a little bit inconsistent, but it's the Seattle offense. They strike out a ton against lefties, right? And I think they have the lowest batting average in baseball at home against lefties this year. So I looked at that game and I thought first 5 under. Ended up staying off it, a little bit too much variance, Quintana being a little bit of a wild card. And, Seattle's bats every now and then have a tendency to wake up when you least expect it. So, but that was the angle I looked at for that game.
Okay. Well, Wetzel, there you have it. So, if they're bad against lefties, they strike out the most in baseball. Like every check mark when you're weighing take it or don't take it is on one side. So that qualifies for the Black Cloud play of the night. Do you feel better or worse, Wetzel, after listening to Zin just break that down for us?
Yeah, better. I'm rolling.
They're batting 192 against left-handers at home this year. By far the worst mark in baseball, Seattle.
Wow.
They can't even hit 200.
So why then, Mark, do you think is the line only 4.5? The guy's had 5 strikeouts or more in 8 of his last 10 starts. He's facing the worst strikeout team in baseball, yet they're giving us 4.5. A little juice, but still.
Again, 28.3% K rate. I don't know. I mean, it almost seems too easy. It really, really does. And those things kind of scare you sometimes.
Yeah, very scary. What else is scary is the Padres. Literally hottest team in baseball. What they're doing, they're coming on now. They're getting hot now. They're playing the Marlins now, Zin. Down 2-0 the whole game. Haven't done nothing. They just hit a double. It's 2-1. Is it time to bet the Padres?
I just want to know who the hell is Edward Cabrera, and why is he not Eduardo? First, that's number one. Number two, for the last 4 starts, this guy may as well have been a Cy Young candidate. It's unreal. The guy had an ERA over 8 a month ago, and in his last 4 starts, he's gone 5 innings in each, allowed 3 runs or less, including last start shutting out the Braves. Now this starts shutting out the Padres, who are great on the road. Who the hell is Edward Cabrera?
It's amazing, these pitchers sometimes. Like Dylan Cease
you actually got a good start from Martin Perez, who was a dumpster fire in Pittsburgh. You actually got a start worth backing Martin Perez, and gross.
Lefty starter, too. Miami may actually win against a lefty starter. So, but it's locked up. So, top of the 8th inning, maybe, just maybe. Oh, now it's up to 750. They probably hit into a double play. Something goofy like that. Something bad had to happen for it up to be up to 750. I still think we got a shot. And by the way, Dave, you'd appreciate this score more than others. Milwaukee 6, Cincinnati nothing.
Uh-oh.
More with Mark Zinno coming up.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the target for the right hand for my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for another full hours. We watched a little baseball, a little preseason football. Good news for our over players on Pittsburgh and Houston. Steelers did score. Of course, the bad news is they botched the extra point, so it's now 17-6. We're sitting on the over 37.5, maybe 38.5. So, but at least we're in it, and Houston is driving a little bit. So, talk with Mark Zeno here on the grid. Some baseball, some maybe some football thoughts from him as well, Mark. So, first up to the baseball board, games in progress. Anything jump off the board? You got Minnesota looking for a sweep, 2-0 over Cleveland. You know, got Kansas City, St. Louis tied at 3. Miami, San Diego did score. By the way, they're still they're heading bottom of the 8th inning. It's only 2-1, so they only got the one run. But any games in progress, Mark, you like?
What a god awful time for the Guardians to have it now. What is it? 7 on their way to an 8-game losing streak.
Yep.
Somewhere in that range, like just man. And they hadn't lost 4 in a row at home all year. And then Arizona came in and swept that doubleheader. And it was a weird scheduling quirk. Both the Guardians and Twins had off yesterday, didn't play a game, but chose to play a doubleheader today. It was very weird.
Weather.
Not sure. Yeah. I guess that's what it was. Yeah. Maybe Cleveland weather stinks. The other thing that sort of, and Dave knows my angst about this. Every time the Reds get within 3 games of 500, you know what they got to do? Start dumping 4 in a row. So, yeah. So, I mean, the Brewers may sweep this whole series. It's a lock because the Reds cannot get to 82 wins. They're just going to tease me until the final 2 weeks of September to actually put the knife all the way in my heart. But, yeah most inconsistent team.
It's an interesting time, like you said, the Guardians with the losing streak, the Pirates ran into the Diamondbacks, and then the Padres. Now they come out west in LA first, then they go to the Padres during the week. A lot of people woke up this morning and went, how is Mitch Keller plus 180? And there's a reason why. We were kind of discussing it on the break, and I heard you say it. Tell the people what you were looking at with Dodgers and Buccos tonight.
I laid the half run in the first 5, basically because I don't think Jack Flaherty is going to get touched up for a run, period. I mean, if the Dodgers get 2, that should be enough. I know their offense has been scuffling and it hasn't been great, but they are home where they score more, obviously. And I think Mitch Keller is, he's one of those guys where the analytics tell you he's not as good as his numbers are telling you he is. We saw that last year in the second half. Now, he's been okay. But this is a very professional lineup here that the Dodgers are putting together. So I don't need the Dodgers to do much in the first 5. I think that the most of the heavy lifting is going to be done by Flaherty here. At least I'm hoping. His first start in the Dodgers uniform was excellent. You get a little re-energized now that he's in a pennant race and everything else, and his teammates are depending on him. So if we get, high-level Flaherty here, I don't see Pittsburgh pushing across more than 1 run, and the Dodgers bat should be good enough to hold a lead after 5.
All right. Pretty good series in Arizona, D-backs and Phillies with Zach Wheeler on the hill. Any thoughts on that one?
I played the Phillies last night and cashed, mostly because the Diamondbacks were coming off a doubleheader sweep and had to travel. So it ended up working out. My issue here, again, is that Wheeler isn't as good on the road. We know that. I mean, it feels maybe like an over game, but I would even look to the Phillies team total over, simply because, again, they're going to get a full 9 at-bats, and Arizona's bullpen has got the 7th highest ERA in bullpen ERA and the 5th highest whip. They have trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark. Their bullpen does. They've given up, what is that, the 8th or 9th most home runs this year, or 7th or 8th? No, I'm sorry, 5th most home runs this year. So, yeah, against a team like Philly, that's not a category you want to be in. So I would look to the Phillies team total here. I think the game probably goes over. I mean, Wheeler is not immune from a spot where, he can have a great start on the road. But Ryan Nelson has been bad for a better part of this year. It's kind of been feast or famine as of late, where they kind of gave up 4 runs against KC, none against Washington, 4 runs against Pittsburgh. It's like, hey, but the D-backs have been scoring. They've been hitting the hell out of the baseball as of late. So, again, I would look to an over in this spot.
So, it is that time. Football season has, quote unquote, started. I like to call it fake football. But it's going on, so we have to discuss it. Now, tomorrow morning out west, first game of the day is Commanders and Jets. And I know you're kind of a Jets guy, or you're aware of what's going on with the Jets. And they're a popular team to talk about. Ranieri and I discussed it a little bit on Game Time Decisions earlier. 1, do you watch the preseason football? And 2, what are you looking for as someone who wagers on preseason football, if A is true?
Well, I mean, a lot of it is situational, right? Like, I had the Giants-Lions under on, what was that, last night? Thursday night?
Yes, Thursday. Yep.
Part of that was because they practiced against each other 3 days straight. There were multiple fights. It was very physical. The teams were exhausted from beating each other up for 4 days straight, and none of the starters played. So situationally, that tells me an under's coming in, and it did. First half under hit, full game under hit. Tonight, if you followed me on Twitter, you followed the shows I've done on Wager Talk, I spoke about the Falcons and Dolphins going over in the first half over. In fact, they went over the game total in the first half. Why? Because Mike McDaniel is always going to try to score. He'll always buck the trend. He'll always do the opposite of what everybody's thinking, because that's his way. And the Falcons are starting Michael Penix, who has something to prove as a rookie, and he was going to play for a full half tonight. So he was going to try to score as many points as possible. Situationally, it screamed the over. That's what happened. So, when I look at the Jets and I look at, Washington, you have to believe that Jaden Daniels is going to take more than one series. He's going to play a little bit here. I'd be shocked if he just give him 4 snaps and get him out of there. But maybe that's all they're going to do. It really kind of depends on what Dan Quinn is going to do with Jaden Daniels, how much he's going to let him play. I know the Jets defense is good, but I don't expect them to play many starters. But if Jaden Daniels is playing for the first quarter, they're going to score. Their intent is to try to score. Every rookie wants to put points up. They don't really fully understand that the preseason doesn't count, and they want to put on a show because that's naturally what they've had to do their entire lives to this point. So when I see rookie quarterbacks starting for the most part, it feels like situationally leaning to an over.
Okay. Any other games tomorrow you like?
Buffalo.
Josh Allen playing?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I think that, Mitch Trubisky is backing up. You have a very capable, backup there, and a guy who knows how to play. Sean McDermott, 14-7 in his career in the preseason. Some of these coaches still want to win. For whatever reason, they don't like hanging L's up there, even in the preseason. The Bears probably a little bit overvalued. Again, offensive line issues I think they still have after the Hall of Fame game. Having won that Hall of Fame game, some of those guys might get a game off here because they're a team that has an extra game, right? So they're at home next week against Cincinnati. Feels like sort of maybe a throwaway spot here for Chicago, and the Bills can really can jump on top of it. I mean, if you want to lay the juice at Bills at -140, but the line is flipped If you got early, you had the Bills as a 1-point dog. Now they're a 1-point favorite, so a 1.5-point favorite. But still, I've learned one thing in the preseason: follow the money. More often than not, when that money moves, follow it.
No question. Speaking of following the money, the Padres just tied it. Jackson Merrill's literally one of the most electric players in baseball. Solo shot tied 2-2, Padres and Marlins. Last question for me, sir. Look at the numbers. I just did it. So Commanders, we saw 2.5. Bills, 2.5. The rest of the board, 3.5 Raiders, 4.5, 5 with the Browns, 5.5 with the Titans, 5, 6 with the Bengals, 1.5 Jags, 3 with the Chargers, Saints 2. One of those things sticks out to me more than the others. How the hell can anybody be a 6-point favorite over anybody? Bengals, tricky, something there's in.
I mean, when they hang that big of a number in the preseason, it certainly should set off an alarm bell. One way or another. Either they hop on the dog or the favorite is going to do something that you expect them to do. Hadn't broke that game down, but as soon as I see a 6 preseason, I'm like, yo, let's do something.
Yeah. It's 6 because Joey B wants to play, but if he does, he's going to play a series at both. So, Mark, great job as always. We'll do it again soon.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the target for the left right hand from my Perry, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Hi, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. Oh, we got a shot. We got a shot. Let's go, Pittsburgh. Our big preseason. Who needs Sharapan? If he don't want to bet preseason football, if he doesn't want easy winners, get in, get in. Oh, we got a shot. Listen, this is not easy, but I'll take care of the preseason football, Dan. No problem there. We got love the over Pittsburgh, Houston. You had 4 backup quarterbacks, and we got a little bonus because C.J. Stroud ended up playing. It had a touchdown drive, but I figured with Kyle Allen and Kenny Pitts, who stinks, and who else? Case Keenum and Davis Mills, 37, 38.5. So even though Kyle Allen missed that easy touchdown earlier, they've rebounded. It's 20-12. They just scored a touchdown. We're at 32. So they kicked the extra point, I hope, to make it 33. Oh, they're going for 2. That's not good. Why are they doing that? Because they don't want to tie. That's why. All right. You know what? That's not good because now if they score a touchdown, well, let's see if they don't get it. Now we need if you got 38.5. Oh, they ran the ball. What do you do? Your Pittsburgh Steelers team is so archaic. I mean, nobody runs the ball for the 2-yard line on a 2-point conversion. You're never going to get that. A lot of people are stupid.
It's 2 yards to run the ball. They're just going to push the guys 2 yards, fall over. It's easy. You know, they're not the only ones that do it. Did you just call the Pittsburgh Steelers archaic? I mean, What are you talking about? They got.
Let me explain this. Let me explain this to all offensive coordinators.
Hold on. Let me get my listening glasses for this.
Yeah,
hold on.
Please, just get it out. All right.
Go ahead.
Because it's very simple. If you know what you're doing. Okay. Here's why you could run if you want to on 3rd and 2 from, we'll say, the 50-yard line. Why? Because the linebackers are responsible for 10, 15, 20 yards down the field, right? You can't run 3rd and 2, or in this case, 4th and 2, from the 2-yard line because why? There's not 50 yards down the field. There's only 10 yards down the field, and they're only responsible for the line of scrimmage. So now you have 5 offensive linemen against 7 defensive linemen. I don't take anything 5 versus 7. You're not going to get that.
Well, all right. So, I mean,
if they lose this game 20-18 and it goes under 38.5, I'll never bet Pittsburgh the rest of the year.
That's first of all not true. That 100% is not true. You will bet Pittsburgh. You might do it next week because by then you'll forget about it.
I won't do this preseason. Let's put it that. I won't do this preseason ever again.
That's fine. All right, that's fine. So we've got that out of the way. I hope you feel better. Second of all, you like calling plays. Have you played Madden? Is this the qualifications? Because a lot of guys that like to say they played Madden.
No, I don't play
and
Madden.
They can call plays better, and they have these things all decided. Yeah, you don't even play Madden. So what are you telling people how to call plays for? Like relax.
Football. Well, have you ever played Talking Football? Greatest game in the history of games. Where you get the little disc and you put it in the computer and you pick the offense and then you hand it to your buddy and he picks his defense. And depending on what two, if you pick like a screenplay and he calls a blitz, you get like a 20-yard, 25-yard game. That's great.
It never ceases to amaze me that as we continue to hone and craft this show, you and I, you bring up a reference that only someone aged like 50 and older even has a clue what you're talking about. Talking football, yes,
great game.
I played it maybe 45 years ago, but yes, I know what you're talking about. Maybe 40 years ago. I don't know exactly how long ago. Let it go. Let's focus. You want to talk about, what do you call it? Dopey. A dopey play. The Padres tie it. They get another guy on. It's 2-2. The pinch runner comes in and gets picked off of first base. He's going to be he's the go-ahead run. And the Padres are playing to win another game in a pennant race, catch the Dodgers, and a guy gets pinch. He's on first, and he gets picked off. I mean, if I'm coaching, I used to tell the kids, don't get picked off. Because if you get picked off, not only do you get yelled at, I get fired. If I'm coaching first and you get picked off, we're both in trouble. So get back to the base. He was completely leaning because he was completely stealing. And, he got picked off. So the Padres, take the field. Jason Adams pitching in a 2-2 game. I hope you got in when we said to bet the Padres because they were down. Listen, take a deep breath, Wetzel. You're going to bet the Steelers. There's going to come a time. It might be week 1. You might be on the Steelers in week 1 at Atlanta. That might be the first play of the season for you on the Steelers. It's not a bad play.
I know, but we left points on the board when Kyle Allen misses a wide open wide receiver from 2 yards out. And now you shouldn't be going for 2 now anyway. You go for 1 now. You make it 20-13. Then when you score a touchdown, then you can go for 2. It doesn't make really any sense now. I know that there's not really a right or wrong answer to that. And some would say that there's like less, the defense is, not concentrating as hard, since it's only going to make it 20-14 versus if it's, 20-19. But I don't go for it now. I go for, later on. But we left points on the board there, and then, we left points on the board here. We should be over. Right now, this should be at worst, 20 to 20 to 19. That's really what it should be. I mean, we should have our over. But
woulda, coulda, shouldas. There's a place for that in the book.
Yeah.
It's right down on the end of the counter. There's a big can. I got them all over Vegas. That goes right next to the CLV can that is all over Vegas. There's a bad beat department. I think if we're going to start a business at some point, would a text number or text line or wherever we could just go and vent about bad plays, bad beats. Some book is going to take that idea from us. I mean, we could do that with the S&W Corporation. Be good business.
Yeah. 1-0 Braves that gave up 41 runs in their last 4 games, and they're in Colorado when it's 1-0. Go figure. That's baseball, right? Meanwhile, if I ever suggest, if I ever think, if I ever even consider putting American money, even if I just throw it out there, you have permission to just take me off the air on the Chicago White Sox, down 7-0. Oh.
Tried to tell you.
Yeah.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the target for the left hand. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Milkomania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Searching for some winners. Baseball preseason football. A little Olympic stuff we can get to here in a little while with the men's and women's gold medal games coming up this weekend. So that should be a lot of fun. And just a couple more days to the Olympics, and then basically it's over. That's not the right medal count, but that's okay. USA has what? I think 111 now. So they won a bunch more today.
Piling them up today.
Yeah, 111 for USA. 33 gold, 39 silver, and then 39 bronze. So USA leads in all the categories. But you know what? If they don't win in basketball, you can kind of throw it all out the window, right? I mean, not that I would exchange one gold medal in basketball for 110, other gold medals, but there are certain gold medals that mean a little bit more for USA in basketballs, especially on the men's side. I was actually pretty good to see, the team kind of rally around each other. And they really, enjoyed that win against Serbia the other day. Great game, great finish. Thankfully, Curry bailed them out. Oh, by the way, did I tell you? No, you were working, right? So little, a world-class AAU refereeing that I am, right? So there was a key play. I don't know if you saw the end of the game, with about a minute and a half left. Serbia turns the ball over. Little pop quiz for you to test your boys tonight in Vegas. You want to make a couple of free bets or free drinks anyway? Ask them, Dave, in a typical court, NBA, college, high school, typical regulation court, which side of the court is bigger? The back court or the front court? Or is it the same? 99.99% of the people will say it's the same, Scott. It's the same size. It's not. Why is it different? Because the half court line, which is about 3 inches wide, is technically part of the back court. So a kid on Serbia dribbled the ball. It got deflected, but he lost control of the ball. It lands on the line, and he was in the front court. They turned the ball over. USA wins because he screwed up. So you want to have a little pop quiz, at the bar, ask someone, take a bet. If you get the answer right, you get a free drink or a free bet. Which side of the court is bigger, back court or the front court in a basketball game? It's the back court because the 3-inch line is in the back court. There you go.
I did not know this, but thank you for sharing it with me and everyone watching and listening to SportsGrid right now. We really do appreciate that.
We try and make the money, right? Now we make the money giving them in-game, and we make the money water cooler style as well.
And you're making the money, refereeing all those basketball games on the side in the Hokas. I would have loved to have seen you referee international basketball. Are there any other languages that you actually are capable of either communicating with someone in – if you were refereeing the basketball game? I mean, do you speak any language? Are you fluent in anything? I'm learning all these things about you as it goes, and I think the audiences like to learn with me. Does Wetzel speak any other language?
Well, I think on the basketball court, this is universal. This, whether it's Spanish, French, German, I think they get my drift when I go like that. So yeah, I speak all languages on the basketball court.
I like this one. I like the 20 seconds. I always do this. I do this to the kids. I incorporated it into this life. Like with the coaching, I would always be like, hey, hold on. They're like, Coach Dave, what does that mean? I'm like, that's a 20-second timeout. Okay, that's it. We got to take a 20-second timeout. Everybody breathe. Calm down. Speaking of breathing, calm down. The Padres have first and second with nobody out in the top of the 10th. Here we go, Padres again. This is unbelievable what they're doing. They're going to put the pressure on.
14-2. 14-2 their last 16. Are they going to win that division?
Yeah, they could. Why not? Yes.
Yeah, right. Tell you, I wouldn't want to face them in a best of 3, even if they don't win the division. Best of 3 with the way Cease is pitching. They missed the field goal? Oh, he missed the field goal. Are you freaking kidding me?
Unbelievable. Yeah. Just relax. Like you wait all season, you wait all summer to bet the football, and you have that make that aggravated sound. I hear you sound like this is fun. This is what you want to do, right? Like you can't wait for this.
If they get the field goal there, they go up 11, and now by the way, touchdown. Now it's an 8-point game, and now Houston's got to play real defense. That's why that's big, Red Sox, bottom 7th, locked. I was going to say. But Cleveland's getting shut out 2-0 against Minnesota. They're going to lose again. Wow. 5th inning. But still. White Sox coming back 7-2 with runners on first and third.
Play was cool.
Let's go, White Sox.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the target for the left hand. Right hand from my Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Oh, maybe a fumble. Fumble? Oh, Pittsburgh recovered. Oh, jeez. Oh, I could have had the Texans at the Steeler 12-yard line. This Kyle Allen stinks. Oh, my goodness. How did this guy ever start a season for the Washington Commanders? Good gravy. Welcome back InGame Live. We need a touchdown with 3.5 minutes left. Oh, we came that close. He fumbled the ball. How did he recover it? Oh, there were 4 white jerseys, Texans all around, and the one guy in the black jersey gets the ball. That is gutless Texans team. You're never going to win anything. You can't do that. Padres 5-2 over the Marlins. They scored 3 times at the top of the 10th inning. This is going to be another under that's going to die. Right? We had one yesterday when it was 3-3. And who was it? Scored 7 times. Cincinnati scored 7 times at the top of the 10th inning. The game flew way over. This might be the same thing. 5-2, still batting, top of the 10th inning. This team's unbelievable. 14-2 their last 16 games, and now maybe 15-2.
1 out. Machado hits a double in the gap, scores 2 runners from first and third. It's 5-2. He's standing in scoring position on second base. This ghost runner thing has really changed betting. Especially in game, you really have to be very careful with tie games or 1-run games in the 7th and 8th innings, because if the game gets to the 9th tied and you have under 5.5 in a 2-1 game in the 8th, that's a tough one to lose. Let alone the pregame total of this one. Was the close for this was, let me see here, 8. I mean, you had a dead to rights under 8. Yeah. It's 5-2, and they're not done. So that 8 looked good, sounded good, was handicapped right, and boom, it's gone. So
there's just
I don't know,
Dave.
What?
There's just something about starting and having a runner on second base that just like if I'm the Padres, and I know this is gonna sound crazy and one of the Scott stupid things, but you know what I would do? I swear I would do it. If this thing ends up, 5-2, it's going to be at least that heading to the bottom of the 10th or maybe 6-2. I would tell the Marlins who start the bottom of the 10th with the runner on second base, go ahead and score. Go ahead. Well, I'll balk you to third. I'll balk you to home, and I'll take a 5-3 lead, and we'll start the inning. There's just something about a runner on base that just kind of screws things up. Pitcher pitches from the stretch rather than the full windup. You know what? I'm going to go walk home. I don't care. It's 1 lousy run. And we got a 2-run lead. Let me get out of the bottom of the 10th inning with a 2-run lead. I really would. If I had a 3-run lead or more, I would do that every single time, because we've seen so many innings start and turn into big rallies because they're 6-2. I definitely would do it. I really would.
My head hurts because I'm listening to you say this and going, what the hell is he talking about right now? I'm going to give you a run. There's no
Yes.
freebies in baseball. No, I'm not giving you a run. Deal with it. Now we have a 6-2 lead. I'm going to tell my pitcher to go out there and just pitch to the batter. If the guy on second scores, it doesn't matter. What
He's
are
pitching
you
from the
talking?
windup. He's not pitching from the windup. He's pitching from the stretch, which a lot of relievers do anyway.
What?
But
These are major league pitchers. They pitch from the stretch all the time.
They don't want to, or they shouldn't. They should be able to pitch better from a full windup. If you're willing to give the guy third base anyway, then what's the difference? Give ahead and score. I don't want him even thinking about it. I don't want him looking back. I don't want him worrying about the pitch count. There you go. We got a 6-2 lead. They make it 6-3. What's the difference? Go score. I'm going to balk you over.
The difference is now a 3-run homer ties it instead of a 4-run homer. What? I'm full. Listen, I love, all of the system plays and the things and the that and this and that, but you're not managing my baseball team. I'm not letting you in the dugout. I'm not even letting you in the front office. We're not doing this, Wetzel. There's no chance. We fight for that inch every day. We fight to keep the runs off the board. No way. I don't want to do this. No.
Would the Padres have scored 4 runs in this 10th inning if they didn't start the inning with a runner on second base?
They would have scored at least 3, yes, because they scored 4.
No, they wouldn't have. They would have got out 1, 2, 3. It's something like that.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. There's a psychological, all right, we were in a rally. I'm going to bear down. I'm not going to swing at balls in the dirt. I'm going to do all the things necessary to actually win because I got a runner on versus, all right, there's no one on. I'm going to swing for a home run. I'm telling you, the mindset is completely different. Completely different. And I bet you Miami scores at least a run in the bottom of the 10th. I bet they make a game of it.
That's the beauty of in-game live. That's something you could actually bet right now. Will the Marlins score, yes or no? There's books that have it. There's a price on it. You should bet it because it's more likely to happen. Who's pitching? All right, so we got a lefty pitching. We'll see. Let's
come the White Sox.
Let's take a breath before Cam gets here, because when Cam gets here, neither one of us can breathe. So we'll worry about what he's got for the weekend. But what are you looking at? Say tomorrow or Sunday with the NFL. There's a couple games. I'm curious about that Buccaneers Bengals. We mentioned it with Zinn. It's a big spread. I don't know.
Yeah.
Packers, Browns is another one. But I'm curious what you think about the big number in Cincinnati tomorrow, okay?
Right.
It's 6.5. There it is. Great job, guys. 6.5, 38.5. Any opinion in this one or anything else tomorrow?
Yeah, there's 3, really 4 lines that, don't make sense or do make sense, but here's why the lines are the way. We'll start with Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati's that big of a favorite because Joey B said he wants to play, Joey Burrow. So he's going to play some. Does that mean they really should be a touchdown favorite? Because the guy's going to play maybe 1-2 series. He's not playing a half or the whole game. But the whole world knows he wants to play. He's going to play. So they're going to bump the line up, 3 points because you think you're getting Joey Burrow for an entire game, which you're not getting. So I wouldn't bet Cincinnati. If anything, this is where first half lines come into play. If your book offers you a first half line, I would do that because now I got probably a touchdown in my back pocket with Burrow playing. So I'm almost starting that game 7-0 because if he's playing, then all the other guys are playing, right? So I would do that, but I wouldn't lay it for the game. That's 1. 2, Minnesota's a 3-point home dog against the Las Vegas Raiders. Why? Because Minnesota's 0-6 in preseason games with Kevin O'Connell as their head coach. But and this is where the books and the public, don't really think about these things. But that's with Kirk Cousins as his starting quarterback. He didn't have a quarterback battle his first 2 years. Now he's got a quarterback battle. Now he's going to go play Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy and Nick Mullins, for a good extent of the time with maybe some starters playing. So now there's a reason for him to win these games and be competitive. So that's a wrong line based on his history. The other one, San Francisco, which is just weird. I haven't really do with the research, but San Francisco getting 5.5 at Tennessee. You won't see that line in the regular season. And then Kansas City and Jacksonville 3.5 day because those 2 teams, Kansas City and Jacksonville, two of the highest scoring preseason teams from last year. So I guess they think that's going to continue again this season. So that's why you get a big fat 40.5, which is the biggest. That and the Raider Viking, that's the highest number on the board. So that's where I'm going to kind of go look towards next year or tomorrow.
Next week, tomorrow,
next year, tomorrow. What's the difference?
This time of year, it's incredible what's going on.
Yeah, I'm rooting for points
good.
here.
It's first and second with nobody out for the Marlins. So your bet that will the Marlins score with Tanner Scott pitching, the guy that the Padres went and got to make their bullpen that much better. We'll wait and see. By the time we come back from the break, we'll know whether the Marlins scored or not. So if we do get that, I'll see if Vincenzo can find the goal horn and crank that thing up if they score. Please let us know because we'll have Cam on and we'll need to know. So Cam coming up next. Yeah.
Guards score 3 times. 3-2 Cleveland over Minnesota. Oh! That's big. Yes.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the target for right hand from my Perry, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. We got one shot. Good news, Pittsburgh is using its timeouts. God bless Mike Tomlin. So we should get the ball back with about a minute or so, minute and a half left, needing a touchdown for our over 38.5. Let's bring in our good boy. Cam Stewart takes over top of the hour with Gabe Morency. What's going on, Cam? You got any preseason football tonight? Any baseball? A little Olympic action for tomorrow? What's on your plate in addition to obviously the golf stuff?
Well, there's always something on the plate, Wetzel. I took actually the Eagles to fade, the best ATS coach, whatever. So I just had a feeling. I just looked at basically the depth chart and the line, and I said, I'm on the Eagles tonight. Sometimes me and Dave talk about it. It's not about trends or whatever. It's just about feeling out things. And, you got to go with it. Sometimes your gut instinct is a very good thing to listen to. Me and Morency were talking about that last night, when you get that bad little voice like the great Gazoo. Don't do it, dum-dum. Who cares about the ATS, right? So I'm on the Argos in the CFL game. It's a very close game right now, 21-15. I like the live over in that game for anybody that wants to play the CFL. It looks like it's starting to open up a bit there. Guys, we're in a really good situation, Wetzel. Dave, I've told you this a million times with the golf. Me and Morency got this ladies Olympic golf surrounded. If I don't win this week, I'm just like, when I'm talking like 40-1 with the leader, we got Ko. We got Rose Zhang. I was my pick at the start of the tournament, 28. She's T2. This other Swiss chick, she needs to go away. I told you, she made 4 or 15 cuts, and we got the girl in fourth. And like basically, we made 4 or 5 picks. We got 4 to the 5. Okay. If we find a way not to win this golf tournament tomorrow, Dave, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to seek help because this is not like Scheffler on a Sunday or whatever. Like we have to surround this tournament. But guys, if you're going to get one live golf pick, even though I want Lydia Ko to win, I told people this a long time ago. Thitikul is her last name, okay? Right now, that is the live pick. She has climbed her way up the leaderboard from round 1 to 2 to 3. She is literally 3 shots back. Wetzel, what can you get her at? I'm thinking about 9 or 10-1. What?
7-1.
7 is a good number. You take it in a horse race. She's 6 under. The leader's at 9. I watch these girls. I'm watching Olympic golf. That's the sport. I watch this stuff every swing. I'm telling you, this girl should be up like 3 or 4 shots. If she plays a regular game tomorrow, hits a couple putts, we're cheering for Ko. But for all you people that are not involved, Thitikul at 7-1 from Vietnam is a very, very dangerous woman. We move forward.
Okay.
Baseball tonight. Scott, show me. Whoa, so now it's the Dark Cloud Parlay? I'm listening.
This is the same game parlay special because the Black Cloud Play of the Night is already underway. And we've talked and done shows all week. You know I'm on a roll. What I'm wearing is a fade. As soon as I put it on, I've been putting it on the team this week. So I wore the Dodger stuff, even the upside down LA.
What the hell yeah? What is that, Dave? Where'd you get that? What is that? Some kind of like Santeria Dodgers? Like, what is that? It's upside down.
It looks like an LV, right? Those
it's Virginia, like Tech with the T to the side or V.
Upside down LA, boys. Stay focused. We only have a couple minutes. Put up this same game parlay. I want Cam because Cam is in the business, has been in the business for a long, long time. You see a plus 172, a plus 118, a plus 190, and a minus 180. Forget what the bets are. You know that price at plus 501 is completely incorrect. Do you not?
Yes, it is. Yes, thank you, Dave. The first thing I was going to say, that's 20-1. See, Dave, no offense to Chiron. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. Plus 172 times plus 118 minus 180 plus 90. That thing's like 32-1, right? Like off the top of my head. Am I right or am I right? Are we hitting a pick 3 at Saratoga?
Tell him.
No offense, Scott. Add a 2 to that 5 or you know what? Let's add a 3 to it. 3501 seems about right to me. $100 gets you 35 grand. And next thing you know, Scott, you own New Balance. New jeans, family's out. See ya. I'm gone. Surf and turf for me. You guys are going to Hardee's. Screw you for all the times the Dark Cloud didn't win. I'm treating myself. Me, myself, and I. Wetzel Incorporated. I love it, Dave. But yeah, add a 3 or a 2 to that 5. Thank you. Just saying.
Not 2024. Not 2024.
Oh, Wetzel.
Amazing.
So what do we got going in late night baseball or anything?
You like
live
anything
here?
in that Dodgers?
Dodgers
and Pirates?
I'm thinking about doing something real stupid here. I'm looking at this line, Dave, and you know me with my little deet. I'm going to take the White Sox plus 420 sprinkle against the Cubs.
Ooh, 7-5
that's going to be
now.
And I will split the units up. I'm getting plus 2.5 even money, and I will take plus 420. Love the number. Gabe's coming up next. He knows about 420. Give me the White Sox.
420.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it. Are you looking at the Bills tomorrow?
Cubs? Oh.
In the preseason tomorrow, there's a lot of talk about the Bills being the right side tomorrow against the Bears. I was curious what Mr. Buffalo Bills in that area of the world, and you're paying attention to the Bills for a long time.
I'm not betting the Bears. No way, no how in that game, even though Badgin's a pretty good backup. No thanks. I'm very intrigued about the Seattle Charger game because Harbaugh, is he going to be like his brother? White Sox? White Sox home run?
Stupid quarterback. Oh, we almost had a pick 6 on a final play of the game.
Wetzel, don't worry about it. The Argos are driving.
Oh,
Dude, Dave, you should see what happened in the CFL game last night. There was like death threats and stuff like that. No one's talked about it. It was the craziest football game of all time. Oh, you have no idea. Like things got like, I thought people were actually like weaponry was going to come out. There's a kid in the pylon there while the game's going on. Everyone crowded the field. Then there was like a call 20 minutes later. Then the other team won. A call 20 minutes later. Coaches going bananas. Like it was, Dave, I'm telling you, the Saskatchewan Roughrider, Ottawa Red Black game for my friends in the United States. Even if you don't watch CFL football, find a way to watch that game and tell me that's not the craziest game you've ever seen. I'm going to tell you this. The Seahawks, I love their preseason quarterback rotation a lot. I mean, a lot. But I'm worried about Harbaugh. But then again, let's think about this situation. Easton Stick is the backup, and you already got Herbert hurt. So it's going to be third stringer and fourth stringer all night long.
Boy.
Seahawks, baby. Started off right for the new regime. We're bringing in Baltimore's guys. We're going to have Baltimore's attitude. Seahawks. I know people are going to bet the Chargers because of the Harbaugh factor. Give me the Hawks. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Fiddical and Golf, 7-1. Watch out.
You got it, Cam. Cam Stewart, top of the hour.
Thank you. I love you, buddy.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the target for left hand. Right hand from my Perry. Double jab and who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form. Bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Welcome back InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Oh, brother, the aggravation, the agitation of gambling, right? So real quickly, Dave. So Steelers get the ball back in this goofy preseason game, right, that we got the over on. So we need a touchdown. So they call their timeouts. Okay, that's cool. They get to midfield, right? There's 15, 16 seconds left. Time if you wanted to run another play. But you can't go in the middle of the field. You know, hopefully you get another 10 yards or so, then you throw a Hail Mary, right? So what do the Steelers do? They throw the ball in the middle of the field. Hey, Kyle Allen is as dumb as a box of rocks, right? So intercepted, guy falls to the ground, everybody stops, dude gets up and starts running. And he turns the corner, and he's at his own 35. He's at his own 40. He's at midfield. He's at the Pittsburgh 40. I don't see anybody in front of him. I'm like, we're going to get the backdoor over cover of all time. Preseason football, final play of the game, right? Touchdown, Houston Texans. Except dopey Kyle Allen, the quarterback, decides to make a play, tracks him down, pushes him out of bounds like the 30-yard line. He was the last hope. Otherwise, he would have went 75 yards, touchdown, and he's tackled. Game ends 20-13 or whatever it was, 20-12. Game goes under. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Fabulous Friday. It's a fabulous Friday. That's perfect. So you have that situation, and while we've been doing the show, and shout out to the boys for making it all work and putting it together, lining up the guests and everything. We talked about the Padres and the Marlins a lot, and it went 6-2. And I hate to pile on here, and you're talking about a bad beat with the under and the this and the that, but Tanner Scott came in and the guy didn't move from second base. Another guy got on first base, and they got out of the inning. And the final score of that game ended 6-2. So the Marlins did not score, and the Padres won another game. You got a parlay that they shorted you to change a lot.
Yep.
This might be a good night to maybe just finish the show, close the computer, and go to sleep. Yep. Don't open nothing up. You don't have to ride the train home tonight. You got the nice, cushy home studio tonight. I'll go deal with Griff, here at the Circa, because he's not going to be in a very good mood as the Brewers continue to just hammer Cincinnati. And he did tell us to keep off of Atlanta, which we said. And, the Rockies are really laying one on. Let me hit refresh. We got a 5-1 lead at the top of the fifth. So that's working out good. I don't know what to tell you. This is just one of those nights. It's not a fabulous Friday. You get a grade F for bad beats and things that happen. It's gambling. It's just one of those nights. Will you be able to sleep tonight? I know you sleep like a baby most nights, but will you be able to sleep, or are you going to be thinking about that Steelers and Houston game?
Yeah. It all depends on good old Jose Quintana. It is over 4.5 strikeouts. When it's the late game, we like to have that be almost a double or nothing game. All winnings from early on, double or nothing.
Don't do it.
This is going to be this is like Hawaii versus San Jose State instead.
Oh, no.
We need to win this one to kind of bring back all the losses from the earlier ones. So over 4.5. I know it's got sucker written all over it, but give me over 4.5 strikeouts, Jose. He's got to bail us out tonight.
Yeah, this is the get back or get deeper game, right? That's what we used to call it. It was the get back or get deeper. It was very rarely get even, right? Gamblers didn't like to get even. You had to get back and then make some, or you get in deeper. I don't advocate that ever, and don't get too crazy. We gamble responsibly. We always have to present that. The Houston Astros are winning 6-3 against your Red Sox.
8-3 now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's not happening. Tough day. Tough day for the Bo Sox. They can't win at home. I tell you, that they're not built well. It's a left-handed team at Fenway Park. It just that's not smart baseball. Whoever built that team the way it is. So, and Minnesota.
Have a good night, sir.
5-3 over Cleveland.
Good job, boys.
Yeah, you signed off 30 seconds early.
Well, I just told me. I thought he said we were done. That's it. No, I can't hear what he's saying. He got the bad mic tonight. It's one of those things. Yeah. That's okay. We're good.
That's all right.
It'll be a nice drive home for them.
Yeah. White Sox win or lose. Steelers gonna? Are your Pirates gonna win with Keller?
Well, I hope so.
Go Pittsburgh, right?
See you, boys.
I think they win. See you, boys.